Losses don't define you. Reactions do. You're going to fail. A lot. You'll lose games, miss shots, get cut from teams, underperform when it matters, make mistakes that cost your team. That's not pessimism. That's just reality at every level of sports. The question isn't if you'll fail, it's what you do with failure when it happens. Here's what most athletes do. They let failure define them. One bad game becomes I'm not good enough. One mistake becomes I always mess up in pressure. One loss becomes we're not a good team. That's not processing failure. That's letting failure process you. Let me show you a different way. Failure is feedback. It's data about what's not working yet. It's information you can use to get better, but only if you look at it the right way. Here's the framework. Result, reason, response. Result. What happened? Just the facts. No drama. We lost 3-1. I went 0 for 4. I didn't make the team. Reason. Why did that happen? Be honest, but not brutal. I wasn't focused. I didn't prepare well enough. Others were better right now. Response. What am I going to do about it? I'm going to work on focus techniques. I'm going to improve my preparation routine. I'm going to get better and try again. Notice what's missing? The part where you make it mean you're terrible and worthless. Here's a question. What's the worst failure you've had in sports? How did you respond to it? Drop a comment. I'm curious if you used it or let it use you. Now, let's talk about the stories you tell yourself about failure. Story 1. I failed because I'm not talented enough. I'll never be good at this. This is a fixed mindset. It makes failure permanent. It stops growth. Story 2. I failed because I didn't prepare well enough. I need to change my approach. This is a growth mindset. It makes failure temporary. It enables learning. Same failure, completely different meanings, completely different outcomes. Remember from Stage 1 Video 8 when we talked about mistakes being data, not failure? This is the same principle scaled up. Losses are just big mistakes. They're telling you something. Your job is to figure out what and respond accordingly. Here's what elite athletes do differently. They separate identity from performance. You had a bad game. That doesn't make you a bad player. It makes you a player who had a bad game. There's a huge difference. You didn't make the team. That doesn't make you not an athlete. It makes you an athlete who needs to get better to make that team. Different story. This isn't just positive thinking. It's accurate thinking. One performance doesn't define your ability. A pattern of performances might indicate something to work on. But even then, patterns can change with the right approach. Let me give you something practical. The 24-hour rule. When you fail, really fail, the kind that stings, give yourself 24 hours to feel it. Be disappointed. Be frustrated. That's normal and healthy. But after 24 hours, you process it with the result, reason, response framework and move forward. No dwelling, no spiraling, no making it permanent. You acknowledge it, learn from it, and get back to work. Here's the trap. Some athletes bounce back too fast. They pretend failure doesn't hurt. They suppress it. That doesn't work either. Unprocessed failure doesn't disappear. It shows up as anxiety in future pressure situations. So feel it, process it, then redirect it into useful action. Think about the best players you know. Have they failed? Obviously. Have they lost? Obviously. Have they made huge mistakes? Obviously. What made them great wasn't avoiding failure. It was how they responded to it. They extracted the lesson. They adjusted their approach. They came back better. That's available to you too, but only if you stop letting failure be the end of the story. Remember from video 1 we talked about emotions being signals? Failure creates strong emotions. Disappointment, frustration, shame. Those emotions are signaling that you care, that this matters to you. That's good. Channel that energy into improvement. Remember from video 2 we talked about self-talk? What you say to yourself after failure matters more than the failure itself. I'm terrible versus that didn't work. What's my next move? One keeps you stuck. One moves you forward. This week, if you experience failure, and you probably will, practice result, reason, response. Don't skip the feel it part. Don't rush to I'm fine. But also don't camp out in I'm terrible. Process it. Learn from it. Use it. Failure is inevitable. Letting it define you is optional.